Hi, I'm Mo, and I've been collecting my toenails and hairs for about 17 years now.
And I'm TJ, the man on the cast. The podcast, that is.
And this is...
It's still new to us, damn it!
Welcome to As Soon as Us, damn it. I'm Mo, he's TJ, he just said, and we're here to watch every movie ever made to be invited to parties. So that way we don't have to collect fucking stamps.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Wait, or maybe the stamps...
Is there access to the parties?
Maybe! I mean, according to the Trickerverse, everybody has stamps.
Yes.
Everybody is interested in stamps. Everybody will stop what they're doing so they can look at your stamp collection at any given time.
Stamp collectors will pop out of nowhere and just be like,
man.
Yeah.
There'll be stamp collectors in dark alleys with trench coats, and
there'll be evil stamp collector shopkeepers.
Right, they'll have black market stamps on the inside of their coat.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe that's what we have to do.
We have to find stamps.
All right, let's go collect some stamps.
Cool, yep.
But after we record about this, our movie of this episode, which is called
Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Travelers? Stamp Travel?
I want to remind you that I selected 3 Coen Brother movies
you did.
for this season.
And I decided to choose the shittiest kids movies we could find.
At least they're available for free on YouTube. So that's great. I don't even remember if there was any ad interruption.
No.
I don't think there was.
There was, no.
That's how little mainstream impact this movie had.
Yeah. It's called Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler, which is a terrible name for a kid. You don't name a kid Tommy Tricker. You name him Tommy Trickster? Mm-hmm. Like Tommy Trick. That's it. Like you got the because it makes it hard to pronounce.
Well, hold on though. What about Harry Potter?
You can pronounce Harry Potter, but those aren't 2 words that start with the same letters though.
Oh, Trickster and Tricker.
Tricker, yeah, Tommy Trickster or Tommy Tricker.
I see what you mean. I think
it's just a bad way to pronounce it.
Okay.
That's one of the problems with the movie. We'll get to it later, but...
This is the first glaring issue.
This is the first glaring issue.
With this movie.
Yeah.
Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler. And I'm going to have to keep looking at my notes here to whenever I have to speak its government name, because I can't for the life of me remember it half the time. Mm-hmm. But before we talk about Tommy Tricker, we do have to take a ride into
the Banter Zone. Highway to the Banter Zone. Okay.
Still keep meaning to get a keyboard out.
Yeah, we really do. Just like a small one. Be like,
that would be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
Why don't we get some kind of musical talent?
Any kind of
production. Like Rufus Wainwright.
What's that?
Like Rufus Wainwright.
Like Rufus Wainwright? See that?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rufus Wainwright.
Yeah.
Canada's Own is
in this
sizable part of this movie, I guess.
Not really sizable.
Not in terms of time on screen.
You think he's part of the gang, but he's not part of the gang at all.
He's kind of like the, I don't know, he's like the observer, like... I don't know. There's like a word for it, I think, in classical literature or like stage plays of the character that's just kind of observing things.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. But anyway,
we're not talking about Tommy Tricker yet. We're not yet. We're in the Banter Zone.
We're not talking about checks notes. Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think the Traveling Wilburys are pissed off that they got to his name first? Or did they? When did the Traveling Wilburys come out?
Traveling Wilburys had to be in the 80s, early 80s.
This is 88.
They were definitely before that, I think.
We'll check that later.
We can look into that if you like.
Yeah, we'll look into that. Okay.
Well, here, I'll look into it while you do your banter time. I don't listen anyway usually, so this will be fine.
Yes.
Oh, active from 88! Holy shit!
You think Tom Petty saw this movie and was like, Travelers.
That's a
Traveling Wilburys.
That's a hell of a name for my new band.
Yes, hell of a name for my new band.
I can't do
it. He phones
George Harrison.
George Harrison. Like, George, you know the name you've been looking for the supergroup? I got
it. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I do rather like that name, actually.
Yes.
That Tommy Tricker.
Yes.
He's a real John Lennon.
Yes. Alright. Okay. No time about Tommy Tricker right now. We can't do it.
Sorry.
Can't do it.
Traveling Wilburys are great, though.
They are great. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, really, what a supergroup.
Yeah.
What a supergroup. You got, just all-stars. Mm-hmm. For younger listeners, that was a supergroup comprising of George Harrison of the Beatles, Tom Petty, Roy Orbison, Jeff Lynne, and Bob Dylan.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet. Yeah. That's right.
You may know him as Timothy Chalamet, young kids. But we know him as Bob Dylan.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well. Okay. So.
Banter, goddammit.
Banter. Okay. Banter time. Let's not hit the table. Moves the microphone. Okay. So, I watched a few movies. Some old movies. I was a little bit sick this past week, so I got some time. Well, first I got some time to catch up on season 2 of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So I'm 3 episodes out from the finale.
Wow.
Yes,
Nice.
It's getting good still.
Yes.
Even after the mystery was solved, luckily they still have a lot of other plot lines. It's still getting good. So
You like those James storylines once he leaves?
that was probably the weekest. I will admit those were the
It's so
weakest.
bad. It's so bad.
It's not good.
It goes nowhere.
They didn't have anything for him. It was
No.
like whatever. Yeah, definitely. I did like when Audrey's dad went insane and reenacted.
Oh, the Civil War
the Civil War
reenactment.
reenactment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Benjamin Horne is definitely the worst, like, most evil TV character that I love.
Yeah.
It's like him and Mr. Burns. He does kind of redeem himself in the second season a little bit,
yeah.
but, like, some of the shit he does in season 1, you really can't redeem.
No, he was a bad guy. Yeah. And then there's Catherine and Josie Packer.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, I was like, yeah. I felt kind of bad for Josie. But I kind of think also, like, she put herself in this situation. Well, she didn't really put herself in this situation, to say. She was forced by her ex-husband, or, like, I don't know, what do they call it? Like,
Yeah.
owner, I guess, technically, because she said she owned him. Like,
Yeah.
that's what she always said. So, yeah, and then she was forced in that situation, and then, but...
She's morally gray.
She's morally gray, yeah. And then her soul's become trapped forever in a side drawer of a hotel in the Washington area.
That's right.
Yeah.
There are worse places you could be stuck,
That's true.
to be honest. But
That's
yeah,
true.
it's not a great ending for her.
And, of course, I don't know if we recorded before David Lynch's passing, but David Lynch has passed away.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, he gave us the best performance I've seen in Twin Peaks.
Oh my God, he's so good. Gordon Cole is one of the
Cole's
best characters.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
His chemistry with Shelley, Mae
Yeah.
Shanamick, is really off the charts.
Yeah.
And all his scenes just with Cooper, and later in the movie, his scenes are...
Your voice makes my stomach filled with bumblebees.
Yes. That's the kind of girl that makes you want to learn to speak French. Just, he's fantastic. And
You remind me of a chihuahua.
yeah, Chihuahua.
Wow.
Yeah. No, David Lynch was one in several billion.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is one of
really,
those
there's
weird
nobody
dudes
else
that
like him.
Yeah.
Though. But just like to achieve the mainstream success with the type of movies he made is incredible.
It is.
I mean, really, it's incredible.
Yeah. The thing is, he wasn't like a weird guy, really. He was like an all-American guy. He ate at Bob's Big Boys like every day.
True.
He was
He
like a
loved
varsity
Americano.
athlete. He was like voted most popular in high school and stuff.
Yeah.
He just had this way of dissecting things in America or things in his life in very odd ways that you didn't really think of. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you're out there and you've never heard of David Lynch before in your life, and either you hear from us or Twitter or something, go check out his films. They're odd, hopeful, sad, disturbing. They're like everything you can possibly imagine.
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Yeah. I don't know. You can feel you full of warmth and then feel you full of dread the next second. It's just...
Yeah,
great,
that's well put. He did find a way to show us the best of life can offer and then the worst it can offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, good, though. Good. I hope you're enjoying season 2. I'm glad to hear that.
I gotta watch season 3 because Blank Check has done all the David Lynch right now. So now they're doing. So they did the first half. Okay, so when Steven Spielberg went and formed DreamWorks, they did all of his movies from 1998 to now. So now they're doing the back half. So now they're doing from his first movie, which was Jewel, to I believe Hook.
Okay.
Hook or no wait, not Hook, because what was his Oscar-winning movie?
Schindler's List?
Schindler's List. So it was 1994 Schindler's List, and then 98 I think he released another movie. I forgot what though, but I think it was
The Lost World.
The Lost World. Yeah, I think that was it actually. Yeah. So,
Nobody remembers The Lost World.
Nobody remembers The Lost World. Is that the one where the girl kicks a raptor out a window with gymnastics?
It's either that or 3. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I watched the first one I end up watching the first one probably once a year.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did Jaws last week, so
That's another annual
probably the
watch.
best. I think that's definitely top 10 movie ever made.
Oh yeah, it's like the perfect movie.
Yeah.
It's really not a bad thing.
You can just watch it like whenever.
Yeah.
And it's like
It's aged perfectly. It encapsulates that small or Atlantic Northeast island setting. I don't know. The's just a feel about it.
Yeah. Is this
I fucking love Jaws.
Have you ever seen The Fabelmans, TJ?
No.
No. So, yeah. Okay, so that was Steven Spielberg's latest movie. It's about him and his family life.
Yeah.
So, David Lynch connection. David Lynch plays John Ford in that movie. Famous director John Ford.
Oh, that's really cool.
So there's this famous story that Steven Spielberg, when he was a kid, teenager, he got like an internship or a small job at a studio, probably doing papers or like something, I don't know what. So one day, he's talking to his boss or some guy in the studio who's a little bit higher up, and he talks to Steven Spielberg. He's like, "Hey, you want to be a director, right? Like, let me show you to a guy you should talk to." And so, Steven Spielberg goes to his office, and he doesn't know who to expect. And then all of a sudden, John Ford comes in with like lipstick on his face all over the place because I guess he had a thing with Marilyn Monroe and like a lot of other female starlets, but he just came in and he asked and he said to him, "You want to become a director?" And so he pointed at a photo, and he said, "What is that?" And he said, "It's a photo." I was like, "No, what's on the photo?" And he said, "Like a cowboy Indian." "No, what's behind the cowboy Indian?" And he said, "Views." And like, that's it. That's how you make movies. You gotta find the point of view. That's it.
Oh.
You gotta find the right angle or something like that.
Yeah.
So John Ford is played by David Lynch in this scenario, and so you see David Lynch come in the very last second.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool, yeah.
How was The Fabelmans?
It was actually really good. Some of it's schmaltzy, some of it's like the magic of the movies.
I heard it was pretty schmaltzy.
Yeah, but then other times like it's actually real family drama about how people getting divorced and how it really affects you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll watch it in between the other two picks that you had for this season. Just for a nice contrast.
Which I totally forgot about. I forget. I know one's about
like a rocket bike kid or
something.
Yeah,
the dirt bike kid.
Dirt bike kid.
And then raping magicians or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. But besides that, I watched a movie called Monkey Business, directed by Howard Hawks, starring Cary Grant. And what's her name again?
Ginger Rogers.
Ginger Rogers, yes, the famous Ginger Rogers, who was with Fred Astaire. It was an amazing movie. It was about a scientist who develops a yeast formula, but he doesn't know he's taking it because the monkey actually made it, but he doesn't know that. So it's just basically Ginger Rogers and Cary Grant being like teenagers the whole film.
Huh.
So that's really funny. And Marilyn Monroe's in it too. She plays a secretary, and yeah, it's actually really good. I watched Ninitska, which was a Billy Wilder film. It's about a French socialite, an American who's in France helping the exiled princess from Russia when she was exiled from Russia during the Communist Revolution. It's about him trying to get back the jewels that were taken from her family, but they were claimed by the Russian government, and so a very stern woman comes to Russia to make sure that the diamonds are sold off well so they can actually use it for the money for the government. But then they fall in love, and it's all actually about how like the communist system's not really great. Neither is the American system, kind of too. So it's kind of like showing both sides.
We're all fucked.
We're all fucked. Yes, that's basically the whole message of the movie. Yeah.
Maybe AI should govern us.
Maybe it should. Nah, we'll figure it out. Then I watched The Major and the Minor, another Billy Wilder movie.
Why are you not selecting these movies? You're selecting this garbage for me to
watch.
watch.
TJ, you need to be tortured. You've been too good. Okay, you're too good. You're doing successful. You own a house.
Yeah.
Okay, you go to the gym multiple times a day.
Is Billy Wilder's Wikipedia page? Yes.
Yes.
It's still the blinking photo.
It's still the blinking photo. Yeah. Okay, so The Maid of Mine is a weird one. This one also features Ginger Rogers, but she plays a woman who's fed up with the city and just wants to go back home. But she can't afford the bus fare, so she pretends to be a 12-year-old girl. And when I say pretends to be one, she literally tries to dress up as one, even though in the movie she's like 32, and they believe her. And then she gets caught up in this situation where she she gets into a cabin of a actual major in the military, and the major invites her to go to his house in a military boarding school for boys. And so then she has to fight off all the boys in the military boarding school. They think she's 12.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
okay,
yeah.
It's quite a conundrum.
It's quite a conundrum, yeah. It's
How was that?
It was actually good. It was a really weird tale. Like, if you watch it, you're like, this is weird. But actually, it turns out to have a great resolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I watched
I'll be busy watching The Dirt Bike Kid.
Yes. You know, what if we get all my 3 movies back to back to back? Just like
I don't know. That would be funny.
That would be funny. So then I watched Twisters, the
sequel to
Twister. Yes.
How was that?
Which it's not as goofy as the original one, because the original one, I don't know, it had just some characters to it. You can really feel more of the characters. You spend more time with them. Mm-hmm. This one you don't really. It's more the special effects. They really grip you and stuff like that. I don't think the characters are that memorable to be able to connect with them like we did in the first one. You know, you're trying to just do a gang and stuff like that, but the gang's not really have a lot of personality and stuff like that. You know. But I would say the special effects are amazing. They really hold you into the story and everything like that. So yeah,
that's what you're there to see, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think it matches up with the original because the original is not that great, but you know it definitely is. I think it's a good movie.
Do you think that this one got snubbed for Best Picture?
No.
Okay.
No, one bit. No. Oh yeah, should we actually talk about the Oscars?
I have nothing. I
have
nothing to contribute. I'm
Got
afraid.
it. Okay. I watched Moonstruck.
We should go see more movies.
We probably should go see more movies. Yeah. What a bad movie podcast.
Really bad.
Yeah, really bad. I'm leaving this all in.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We know we're bad.
Yeah, we know we're bad.
I don't need to check comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched Moonstruck, the annual Italian viewing, where every Italian member has seen Moonstruck.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what Moonstruck is, TJ, it's Cher and Nicolas Cage, and Cher plays a middle-aged Italian woman who is who's just getting married to this guy who doesn't really love him, who she doesn't really love. But then she meets her brother, who they really love, and that's a whole family thing.
She falls in love with her brother?
Yeah, who plays by Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
And Nicolas Cage doesn't have his hand anymore. Because he cut off his hand.
Why'd he do that?
Because it was an accident. His brother Johnny was talking to him, and Johnny was distracting him, and he cut off his hand, which caused him to lose his fiancée.
Wow.
And it's one memorable scene where Cher's talking to Nicolas Cage, and Nicolas Cage goes, "I don't have my hand! Johnny has his hand! Johnny has his girl! What about me? I lost my hand!" That's basically the scene, and it's one of the best acting scenes I've ever seen. Thank you, TJ. I really appreciate my.
That was really.
I've been practicing. I think that on the same level as Tommy Tricker. Yeah. So basically, if you're Italian, you've seen this movie. All Italians need to watch this movie. It's kind of like The Godfather. You need to watch Moonstruck at least once.
Are you pulling the same card as if you're not voting for me, you ain't black?
Yeah.
Because I'm Italian, a quarter Italian. I've never seen this.
Doesn't count.
I've only seen a half hour of it.
Okay.
Actually, that's how it works.
Okay.
And not even
if you're
like
a quarter anything, you gotta watch that amount of whatever.
Which is a shame because I would love to finish The Godfather.
Yes,
it seems
but
great.
You can't watch The Godfather. Yes.
I'll add Moonstruck to the list.
Yes, it's on Criterion, so you can watch it.
Oh, good,
yes.
Lovely.
Yeah. Actually, it's on Tubi right now, so you can watch it.
Lovely as well.
Yes, definitely.
At least I won't have to deal with political ads this time.
That's true.
Oh
God, those were so bad.
Those are the worst.
I watched some great YouTube videos. There's a YouTuber called Matt Braun who does retrospectives on TV characters or TV moments that feature gay people and gay society. He did a great video in the real world, like in the 90s, I think like the second or third season. They were in San Francisco, and there was this guy named Pedro Zamora. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. He was like one of the first gay people who have HIV to be on TV and stuff like that. And it's all about how him spreading his message of HIV and how like him being on the show was like one of the many marvels of HIV research because it actually helped further it because everybody watched it. Everybody be able to understand HIV more. I mean, this is the 90s. People thought you could get HIV just by touching someone. Yeah. So imagine, like, he helps actually, like, bring HIV to a forefront and show, like, no, you're not going to get it if you touch somebody. You know, it's just, like, we need to take care of this. And actually, you know, Bill Clinton talked to him. He went on speeches. Actually did a lot for the HIV/AIDS community and stuff like that.
I'm glad I grew up in the 90s because, when you hear, like, talk about how AIDS was thought of in, like, the 80s and early 90s.
I really watched a commercial on the video where it was a Grim Reaper playing bowling with human beings. And it's like, if you have AIDS, it's a death sentence. And he's literally bowling the bowling ball, and you see him hit a baby.
Oh, wow.
That was a real ad they played in the 90s about AIDS.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't help that, Reagan didn't even acknowledge it by name until, like, 87 or
That's
something
true.
ridiculous.
At least in the 90s, Bill Clinton, helped it. And actually, I just found this out. HIV and AIDS are almost gone from the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like in
it's very livable now.
Literally in 2030, it could be eradicated from the world.
Hey, we should be so lucky.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of people in our new government now that are trying to defund very HIV programs and also to basically make sure people who have HIV or AIDS die and not help them at all. And trying to make sure that insurance companies can just not cover them. And so...
Tommy Tricker.
Tommy Tricker!
No, it is a sad state of affairs, though.
Yeah.
But,
definitely, yeah, so...
I don't know how we segued out of that.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah. I think I was going to talk about another YouTuber, but I don't feel like it's a good time now. So why don't we move on to your banter time, TJ?
Oh, sure.
Yes.
I last time I talked about how I started Everybody Loves Raymond and that it was a C-tier sitcom. Well, I made it to the second season, and I will say it has gotten significantly funnier. I've grown to really like it.
I think once they dropped, like, the Deborah being, like, the annoying stuff like that.
Poor woman. Like, she does nothing wrong, I think. But they make her out, portray her as, like, some nag because she just wants help at the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I think after a while they dropped, like, that a lot, so that makes it kind of better.
I know is last night I watched an episode where Robert had to do traffic school for them, and they ridiculed him to the point where he went and got a puppet, a traffic officer, Timmy, his puppet, and through the puppet he was able to, like, vent all his anger and just roast them. It's great. The puppet roasts them. And it's even the best parts when Frank's like, hey, you son of a bitch, talking to the puppet. It's great. Oh, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
So no, it was a funny show. It's grown on me. Aside from that, I watched, of course, Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler.
Yeah.
I'm reading Dune. The Detroit Lions shit themselves on national TV in the playoffs.
It was painful.
And I think I speak for all of America when I say, thank God the Super Bowl is Kansas City versus Philadelphia.
That's right. We're so excited about it. I can barely contain my voice right now.
Yes.
Yes.
And in the event that this episode is edited and put out there after this Saturday when the Royal Rumble happens, I'm very happy that, insert wrestler name, won the Rumble. I think that for the men and the women, I think that his name and her name are really just bona fide stars going forward and will be great at WrestleMania.
Yes, they will.
Let's see, though. What else the fuck else have I been doing? Oh, I started a file in Fallout New Vegas, so in between Dune and that and Raymond and my master's classes and working a full-time job and buying a house and putting that together, been pretty busy.
This is why I chose the movies, TJ. What you just said. This is why I chose the movies.
Dude, I have such little time to watch new movies.
No, he must now watch all these bad movies because of the way your life is, okay? What you get?
I wanted to watch Nosferatu, but I had to... sorry, guys, I want to go see Nosferatu with you, but I have to watch The Dirt Bike Kid.
No. Watching The Dirt Bike Kid. You love it. Or know nothing about the Oscars.
I've never seen The Dirt Bike Kid, and I will guarantee you I won't love it.
Yeah.
I will not.
Who knows? No, we won't. Okay, well, I guess in the end, that's the end, unfortunately.
This is the off-ramp.
The off-ramp of our banter zone.
From the banter zone.
Off-ramp from the banter zone. Off-ramp to the banter zone.
If there's a highway to it, there's got to be an off-ramp.
Yeah, that's true.
From it.
Yeah, that's actually true. TJ, for this episode, we watched Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler, released in 1988. Directed and written by Michael Rubbo, R-U-B-B-O. Mostly a documentarian, directed a film about poor Vietnamese children called The Sad Song of Yellowskin, Waiting for Fidel. But he is most famous for directing the kids' movie, The Peanut Butter Solution, which is 10 times more crazier than this film. So, lucky I didn't choose that one.
But crazy could be a good thing, though. Is it good crazy?
It's about a kid who goes hair because he puts peanut butter on his head.
I'd watch that. As a bald person, I'd watch that. I have peanut butter in the cupboard.
Yeah, we'll do that. It stars Zeus Evans, Anthony Rogers, Jill Stanley, Angie Whitehead, Paul Popowich, and, of course, the famous singer, Rufus Wainwright.
Rufus Wainwright.
Yes. None of these people did anything else because they were all chosen at a school. So basically how you saw in this film, the guy went around, the director, Michael Rubbo, went around to a lot of schools in Montreal because he was presenting there. Did improv scenes with every kid he can get a hand on, recorded it, and then if you were good enough, you were in the movie, And these were the best of the best in Montreal. So that's why they were in this movie.
Wow.
Yeah. That was his casting process.
There's really no inspired acting in this movie.
No, it's not. No. And I don't know, the best kid was Tommy, definitely.
Yeah.
Everybody else was not good.
You know, by late 80s child actor standard, actually Tommy was good.
Yeah, Tommy
everybody
was
else
good.
is shit.
Yeah, they're terrible. No.
I mean, really.
There is a making of this movie on YouTube. I watched it all. Well, I'll get into it a little bit more later, but like every kid was just kid acting. They were trying their best. It's like maybe in the moment they seem very heartfelt and stuff like that, but like in screen it just comes out as very static and like paint drying acting. Yeah, It's bad.
I think you like this movie. You've seen it twice, and you watched the behind-the-scenes documentary.
I had to get information about this movie, and it's not going to be on IMDb or anywhere else.
That's a good point, I suppose.
You know what the fun facts I saw on IMDb about this movie?
What?
Rufus Wainwright's in this movie. That's it.
Oh, jeez.
That's it. So
was the behind-the-scenes feature better than the movie?
No. It was just the director just talking about why he made the movie.
Okay.
Didn't have any...
So it wasn't like the Apocalypse Now documentary?
No. It had two people who saw the movie who says, I'm a huge fan of this. One of the guys watched it in a English first language class to learn English. That's why I like this movie. The other guy was like, oh, this movie inspired me to go on adventures and something. I'm like, no, it didn't. That's a lie.
No, that's
so basically, this... Okay, so... we'll get into Tommy Tricker. I chose this movie... it's in a series called Tales for All, which is a series of children and family films produced by Les Productions Lafitte, which I don't know what is in English.
French-Canadian?
French-Canadian.
French, anyway?
Yeah, so all these films were published as books. So there's a Tommy Tricker book out there.
Whoa,
yeah.
To eBay.
To eBay.
Oh my gosh.
eBay we go. And
What's it called? Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler?
Yeah, it's called that, yeah. You can probably find it.
I'm looking. You go ahead.
Okay, founded by Roch Demers, who I believe produced this film.
Wow.
And it has 26 films in all, and one of the films is The Peanut Butter Solution. And Vincent and Me, both directed by Michael Rubo.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
He's at least got a name for himself.
Yeah. He's a... You can tell he's a documentarist, because the way the film's shot. But we'll get into that later. Okay, so I chose this film. Because it was on the list of films on Letterboxd Review called Tales of None. Very messed up kids films.
Yeah, let me go ahead and add this to my letterbox, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there are some. If you own physical media of this movie, you might have some money, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
DVD is $125.
That's the new thing now. If you have old VHS copies in pristine condition, you can get them graded, and they can be worth a lot of money.
We all have realized that the 90s really were peak society.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it was the best. Well, this is 80s technically, but 80s, 90s, man.
Yeah.
We really didn't know what we had.
Definitely. Okay, so I had no idea what to expect of this movie. I read the...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ask me what I knew about Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler going into
What did you know about Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler?
I thought it was going to be like a Harry Potter and the something thing. I thought the main character would actually be Tommy Tricker. I knew nothing about this fucking movie. I knew nothing about it except that I already hated you for picking it.
It's true. Yeah, so we knew nothing about Tommy Tricker. We didn't grow up in Montreal, Canada back in 1991, so we knew nothing about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
For you people who actually enjoy this movie, which I guess are a few, either they like it ironically or they actually like it. I can't tell based on the Letterboxd reviews. I will spoil one for you right now. It says, Tommy's Joker shirt was cool. Too bad his dad eats shit out of a garbage can or whatever. And that deserved a half star, and that was the best review of the entire Letterboxd.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That was a cool Joker shirt, though.
Yeah, that was
and
cool.
It's worth noting there's a Joker shirt and a Batman shirt in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's pre-1989.
True.
So a lot of people at that point thought of Batman still as Adam West. So that was pretty cool.
I feel like kids in the 90s, kids' TV shows dressed a little bit more cooler. Because I remember...
Yeah.
For some reason, I found the Encyclopedia Brown TV show, and the guy had really awesome band T-shirts, R.E.M. and all those cool bands and stuff. I'm like, how come I can't get those T-shirts?
That's cool.
Yeah, he has cool Pearl Jam shirt. I want that shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
well, fashion's cyclical, right? And I think the '90s is coming back in.
True.
They say it's like 30 years, so
no, it's 20 years. That was the '90s already passed in 2010, so now it's the 2000s. So when I was
so 2000s are now fashionable?
Yeah, 2000 now is fashionable. I mean, pop punk came back, TJ. What do you expect?
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, let's see.
I know, but people wearing those Jinko jeans again, those style.
Yeah, well, Jinko jeans was popular in the 2000s.
They were popular when I was in elementary school. I don't remember after that.
Wrestling's huge back in the early 2000s. Same thing.
True.
Nobody spiked their hair. There's no spiking of hair.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
They will. They will, man. Didn't Joe Burrow bleach his fucking hair?
He did bleach his hair, so it's coming back.
Yes,
there we go. Okay, so now we actually have to talk about this movie. So Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler opens up. I must say, though, great opening credits. I do like them. They were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
Imaginative.
It
shows stamps from around the world.
Yes.
With characters on them.
Yes.
Right?
It does.
That's a good part if you guys want to watch that.
Yeah, if you want to watch the opening credits, which...
Go ahead.
Yeah, watch that. This part you may not want to. Alright, so we get to Tommy Tricker. We're introduced to some characters. We're introduced to the skateboard kid.
Do you want a synopsis or no?
Oh yeah, synopsis. Yeah, that's true. Yes.
I can give a synopsis.
Give a
and then
synopsis.
we can talk about the beginning because
that's true.
I did. You know what's funny is they probably have more to talk about in this movie than I did like Pigs and Battleships.
True.
We'll see if that actually plays out. But I have a lot of notes for this one, or at least a lot of disparate thoughts that I wrote while watching it. Well, yeah, I'll just go ahead and spoil this movie for everybody. You've watched the opening credits on YouTube, and now you're ready for the rest of it. Somewhere in southern Canada, possibly Windsor. Not really, but I just wrote that.
Most likely.
Yeah. Somewhere in Canada, Tommy Tricker is a ragamuffin stamp grifter who tirelessly cons local school children and stamp connoisseurs alike in order to support his mother and siblings in the wake of their dad's seeming abandonment. One of his marks, a schoolmate named Ralph, is tricked into giving Tommy an incredibly rare Man on the Mast stamp from his father's collection. After Ralph faces the wrath of his father as a result, he enlists the help of his sister Nancy and friend Albert, another stamp aficionado and a total wiener, in getting back the Man on the Mast. During their pursuit of Tommy, they discover the secret of legendary 11-year-old stamp collector Charles Merriweather from a book of stamps Tommy had left behind. Merriweather previously vanished 60 years ago, but not before leaving behind details on the whereabouts of his most valued stamps, Sydney, Australia. In trying to figure out how Merriweather brought his stamps across the globe at such a young age, Ralph discovers the ability of stamp traveling, which is literally fusing with a stamp to be sent anywhere. With that ability, he sets off for Sydney. His journey to find the stamp stash ultimately brings him to Sydney, where he finds Tommy Tricker pretending to be Charles Merriweather, imprisoned by a crazy Aussie zookeeper who is in possession of the Man on the Mast stamp. With the help of the zookeeper's estranged niece, Cheryl, they trade a koala bear for the stamps and Tommy's freedom. Ralph overcomes his stutter, because that was apparently his arc the whole movie, and he and Tommy are mailed home on a stamp by a kangaroo. Upon reuniting with his family, Ralph and Tommy present Ralph's father with Charles Merriweather's stamp collection, all in the presence of legendary stamp collector Mr. Barnes, who explains that not everybody who stamp travels makes it back to the real world safely. He retrieves his stamp collection and presents a stamp similar to the Man on the Mast, but with a boy on the bow instead. The boy is, in fact, Charles Merriweather. As Ralph, Nancy, and Albert negotiate with Ralph's parents about freeing Merriweather from the stamp, a prospect that Ralph's mother is particularly unwilling to allow, Tommy Tricker sneaks off with the boy on the bow stamp, presumably to sell it. As everyone chases him down the road, Rufus Wainwright plays us out. In the end, some mild unintentional hilarity ensues.
Thank you, TJ.
Yes.
That's great. I believe the guy's name was Mr. Bronson, because in my notes I wrote, who is Mr. Bronson?
Okay. I just saw a character named Mr. Barnes on the IMDb page.
That was probably one of the stamp guys who was supposed to be the comedy characters.
It is Mr. Bronson.
Yeah, Mr. Bronson.
I don't care. There is an old man stamp collector that is inexplicably staying with Ralph's dad.
Yeah.
Again, we mentioned at the top of this, but like...
That guy definitely molested his father, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely
did. Oh my God.
Some weird social relationship where he tricked them into thinking but raped them.
There is no doubt, because in this Trickerverse, he who controls the stamp controls the world or whatever. Like, everybody is so enamored with fucking stamps.
This movie's about stamps, TJ. About stamps for an hour and 40 minutes or 38 minutes.
I honestly started asking, like, are stamps supposed to be an allegory for drugs?
No.
Everybody is. Even the homeless man recognizes a stamp at one point.
Yeah. So Michael Wubo, I'll call him Wubo because I like that name. I don't even know if that's pronounced correctly or not. He liked stamp collecting when he was younger. But also...
Great! I'm happy for him.
Okay, so he got inspired to do this movie because he was in this dentist's office reading a magazine. And he re-recorded this moment. And in the magazine is actually the Trailer Park Boys. So it's actually...
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he not re-records it, but he produces a scene like to recreate the situation he was thinking about. So he's like, he found this article about this pen pal kid from China, and so what if we made a movie about that? Like, what connects people? And it was like stamps, and like people love stamps, right? Kids love stamps. This is 1988. Kids love stamps. So he found his own stamp collection, and he was like, all these old stamps suck dick. These are terrible. These are awful.
Does he say that in the behind the
scenes?
Yeah,
he says like, these are terrible. These are boring stamps.
Wow.
So he's like, okay, maybe some kids are still into it because he found the new stamps, and the new stamps are good. But then he goes to a stamp collection convention. They're all old men. All of them are like plus 50 years old. The guy who plays the shopkeeper, the evil stamp collecting shopkeeper.
Oh, the guy that reminds me of the character actor that was in Beetlejuice and Glenn whatever.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
He found him at the stamp collecting convention, and that's why he put him in the movie, because he pointed out that the stamp with the on the ship with the little kid inside of it is worth so much money. So that's why he's in the movie.
Okay, all adults in this movie are child molesters, right?
Yeah.
There's no question
about
it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, so he said, so he realized, like, no kid likes stamps or anything like that. He tried to make a card game, like a card craze happen by putting stamps onto like cards, like baseball cards. That didn't take off either.
Oh my god! I admire the persistence.
Yeah. He's just trying so hard to get stamp collecting back.
He's trying to get stamps over.
Yeah.
It's over for
but
stamps.
It's not working.
You're talking late 80s, man.
Yeah.
Kids had seen Terminator.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, so he was also talking about, like, you know that one stamp in the beginning where it's like a very rare stamp that has like a little mistake on it?
Yes.
He tried to make that the main focus, but it was too small of a thing to make it the main focus. So then he focused his attention on the stamp with the little boy on it. So that's how he developed the story. And so, like I said before, how he got the kids was he went to a lot of elementary schools and spoke to all the students in the elementary schools to find... He told them this tale. He told them that he presented the movie to them. And was like, okay, we're going to do some improv, and he's going to film. So he filmed like a ton of kids performing these parts to see which one worked the best, and this is what we got.
Wow.
Yeah.
A bunch of fucking tryhards that all have no talent.
Yes.
Tryhard hacks. All the other kids at that age, they have this madman just bandying on about stamps and stamps, and you don't give a shit about stamps.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what a child's brain is thinking. I mean, again, I admire the persistence, but we're talking 1988.
The thing is, though, like, okay, so 1988, what were kids collecting? Like,
I don't know. I guess
baseball cards, because the Pokemon was 10 years. You gotta wait 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no Pokemon, there's no Digimon, there's no Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's that.
There's no.
The only thing kids would collect are baseball cards, and maybe. The Garbage Pail Kids card. All those cards with all those dinosaurs on them that kill people. That the Mars Attack cards, where they
Pogs? You're not talking about.
No. Well, Tim Burton, he made the Mars Attack movie.
And
those were based on cards, and they also tried to make a dinosaur movie. It was also based on
Mars Attacks was 90s though.
Yeah. So there was a market for trading cards, at least. But he decided the stamps. He stuck to his guns on stamps.
Maybe it's because everybody in the world uses stamps. Because there is that scene in China. I didn't even mention it in the synopsis, but there's a whole scene that takes place in China.
Yeah.
It's not even at all consequential to the plot, so
No.
I didn't even think to include it. But maybe that's why for international release.
Okay, so I can see how this movie was gonna go. Maybe he had a documentary about like the Outback or China itself, But my guess, he had this idea and he had this and he went to Rock the Meuse and was like, I got this idea. Let's film this movie. And he's like, I got this plot, but he doesn't know how to do plot or anything else. So he doesn't know character development or story development, or how to do jokes or anything like that. All he knows is how to shoot great scenery, and that's about it.
Scenery was good,
and so he just basically threw this all together, and it's like, I made this movie.
You can tell he's a documentarian.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess now we actually have to get into the actual movie itself. Okay, so we're at the schoolyard. We meet the skateboard kid first. He has nothing to do with this movie. He's just
looks rad as
He looks
fuck,
rad as
man.
shit.
Yeah.
He has a giant ass skateboard, the biggest skateboard I've ever seen.
It's a big skateboard.
He has like a little like on Treasure Planet where like they he has a paraglide skateboard.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's there for some reason. We don't know.
You got a blues musician.
Blues musician played by
Rufus Wainwright.
Okay, then we introduced to Tommy Trickster. He's selling snakes.
Yes.
Live snakes to kids. He has his henchman who looks like one of the prostitutes from Great Balls of Fury.
Yes.
Who I believe Tommy Trickster will sell for sex slavery in the future.
His name's Cass.
Cass. He's a dumbass. He's a dummy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was introduced to the film because I guess somebody's brother was like, my brother can play dumb. Do you want to be in the film? And he was like, yes. And then he's in the film. He has no consequences in the movie. He's supposed to be like the big muscle, but he's a very nice kid.
Yeah, he really was.
He's not mean at all.
Reasonable. In fact, he tries to mediate at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're introduced to the whole playground ecosystem here.
Yeah.
And
we meet Tommy Trickster,
who is literally selling his classmates stamps as if he was trying to sell Adderall.
Yeah.
Yo, I got this. I got these.
I got these stamps. They have these. They have a pink dot on it.
Yep, it's a pink dot.
dot.
You're never gonna find a better stamp anywhere else.
No one's gonna find this fucking stamps. Okay, then we're introduced to Ralph and Albert, correct?
Yeah, Albert's the little wiener that.
He's the king. He's the president of the stamp club, and he's against Tommy Trickster.
So in this universe, he's like the football captain. He's the head of
the class. Everybody fucking loves Albert. Oh my god, Albert had these cool stamps, man. You couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah, Albert shoots his hand up while the teacher's talking. And
the teacher comes in. Teacher's the worst fucking teacher ever.
Yeah,
I saw it when I was watching this high. I was just like, this teacher fucking sucks.
She does suck.
She just comes in. It's like, what's going on?
And Albert's throwing his arm out of his socket. Ooh! Tommy's selling these stamps at above market rate.
Yeah, and he still has the snakes.
Yep.
I don't know why he was selling.
It doesn't.
He has snakes. He has snakes. Okay.
He's selling snakes. He's selling snake oil.
Stamps.
Oh, that's it. It's symbolism.
Symbolism.
He's
a snake oil salesman.
He'll
sell you fake goods.
That's right.
Anyway, Albert tells on Tommy. Albert's a piece of shit. Nobody likes him. For some reason, he just goes after Tommy.
You of
fucking
your dad.
Dad. It's like, fuck you, Albert.
Yeah, Albert, at 2 points in this movie, Albert drops a line about, where's your dad, Tricker? Like, basically, like he's got this shit-eating Skip Bayless smile on. Where's your dad?
Where's your dad?
Yeah. The second time comes
there's
a
second time, there's a homeless man. And then Albert actually points out, does that kid remind you of your dad? And it's like, what the fuck, Albert?
And then in Albert's defense, though, afterward, Tommy's like sad and beside himself, and he goes, that man's my dad. And she goes, and his one friend, Nancy, Ralph's sister.
Yeah.
That's your dad, really? Well, not him, but that's basically my dad. It's so fucking so insensitive to the homeless, unhoused,
true. That's true. Okay, so
insensitive.
So he's selling the stamps. He gives back the money. He does some trick or some shit, and then Albert does his fucking shit. So we would think this is like how the movie begins. It's like, we're gonna follow Tommy Trickster and stuff like that. No, Tommy Trickster is not the main character of this movie.
Nope.
Even though it's called Tommy Trickster and the Stamp Traveler, technically the Stamp Traveler is the main character's movie, and the main character's movie, his name's Ralph.
Yeah.
He's a kid who stutters.
Mildly.
Very mildly. In real life, he does have a stutter, but it doesn't come off that way in the movie. So if I was ever to direct a movie, I would say, hey, you had to emphasize that you have a stutter a lot more than you do. Even though in real life you do have a stutter, but this is a movie. In a movie, like, I don't know anything.
And for a kid's movie, you can make it over the top.
Yeah.
You have to communicate to kids.
Yeah, we don't know anything about acting, but I do know in acting, like, when you act and you're looking for your wallet, you just don't, like, tap everything. But, like, you actually have to, like, pretend you're looking for your wallet. You got to touch everything, make sure everything's there. That's acting. But they were not giving direction in this movie at all. So there's just like, yeah, sure, he has a stutter. It's not very noticeable. So
fucking amateurs.
Fucking amateur. Which I don't understand. Like, Ralph was against Tommy Tricker in the beginning. So why the fuck did he disagree to trade his stamps? I don't get it.
Because, I don't know, he fell under that
Tommy Tricker magic.
Tommy Tricker's...
He didn't want to be smoke bomb. We forgot about the smoke bomb when Tommy Tricker put a smoke bomb in Albert's bag. And, yeah.
In retaliation. For, ratting on him.
Yeah.
Albert kind of deserved that.
Albert sucks.
He took to be fair, Tommy took the stamps out.
Yeah.
And then put the smoke, just to trick Albert into thinking his stamps were on fire. But they weren't.
They weren't. It was a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
God, Albert.
I guess, should we touch on the duality of man that is explored in Tommy Tricker really quickly?
Sure.
Just before the audience gets too harsh on him. And to be clear, I'm not a Tricker advocate at all. But it's worth noting, Tommy Tricker is selling these stamps to his classmates, and he's hustling them. He's trying to hustle the actual stamp shop owners to provide for his family, his siblings and his mother after their...
Yeah. Now, if this was like just a run-of-the-mill, average, like, 80s kids movie. Like, literally, he made by the worst studio ever made. It was just like, at least they get what they're doing. You're over the top. You pull on your heartstrings a lot more. Because Tommy Tricker, he should be the main character. He's coming from a rough home. He needs the money, you know.
Yeah.
But no, they for all that, we follow Ralph. And Ralph has a little bit of stutter, not a lot of confidence, which is understandable. So we follow him. Tommy Tricker goes to his house. We meet who... Okay, so he wanted the movie to have like a love story in it. So we think Tommy Tricker and Ralph's sister, what's her name? Nancy are going to get together. They make a pair. That does not happen in the movie. No. There's like hints of it, I think, but no. So anyway, okay, so Tommy Tricker tricks Ralph into getting a stamp that is from his father's collection.
The Man on the Mat.
Man on the Mat, which is just a ship and a little dot that looks like a man, and it's worth like $600 or something. So Tommy then goes to the stamp collecting shop, a stamp shop. Which
every town has one.
We are supposed to perceive in this town they have a very dangerous stamp shop.
Yeah.
Yes. One by the guy who this director, Rubo, found in a stamp collecting convention, and another side character.
Glenn Shaddix, that's his name.
Glenn Shaddix, and then a guy with like some magnifying glass shit on his head who's supposed to be the main comic relief. These guys are supposed to be like the main comic relief. They are not funny at all.
No.
They play it completely straight.
They're not really antagonistic either.
No.
They're set up to
They're
be
like, you give this like shop a bad name. I'm like, you can give a stamp shop a bad name?
Well, to be fair, if we're gonna go under the assumption that stamps are, crystal meth in this universe, those stamp shop guys aren't acting shady at all. They're not trying to rip this kid off. They don't want him selling hot goods. You know what I mean? So really, they're not bad guys. They're just
stop owners.
Well, you would expect these guys to be the bumbling pair of like the Marv and the Wet Bandits. So to speak,
they're just
right?
they're supposed to be the comic relief. They're supposed to be like the
they're
bad guys.
They're not funny. They don't relieve me at all. Yeah, and they're not bad guys.
No, they're not.
They're not antagonists.
They're not funny. They're not the funny guys in the like. I never seen any Ernest movies, but they have two characters who are like, one doesn't speak, one. It's supposed to be like they're low and hardy. That's what they're supposed to be, but they're not that at all.
They're not funny.
They're not funny.
And you know what
Even the funny guy is supposed to be funny. He looks kind of goofy, but doesn't say any funny lines.
You know what I think is a large part of it too is that none of the adults in this movie treat the kids as kids. They're all peers. There's never like a scene where it's like, oh, beat it, kid. You're just a dumb kid. You don't know lick about stamp collecting. It's just, no, they're all on the same playing field. So it's
Yeah.
like, why not just make these kids or keep the drama centralized on children mostly?
True.
The only one that acts like a parent is Ralph's dad, and we'll get to him.
Yeah. So, okay, so he goes to the shop, he sells the stamp, and, like... Okay, so if I was writing this movie, I would make the bad guys the main shop characters. They would be like, oh, they're the guys... Okay, so, yeah, because...
They're gonna take Tommy Tricker's mom's house if
or
he
something
doesn't,
like that. I don't know. They're gonna buy the house or expand the stamp shop. I don't know. Or okay, we'll get into the so they sell the stamp. Bob's in trouble. He doesn't want his father to find out. He goes back to the shop, and they can't give him the stamp they need because they have $30 from his sister, but that's not going to be enough. So the shopkeepers give her a book of old stamps, a random book that someone bought in. Okay. Now this is where you can set up the plot. Okay, what if they go into what if the guy comes back who gave him the book and was like, turns out that book belonged to a kid who collects stamps back in the 1930s. That's supposed to have a mystical power, and that's where you start the bad guys who were the shopkeepers trying to get back the book.
Yes.
Yes, that's
you would have Toy Story 2'd this before Toy Story 2 was
exactly.
even
That's
a
what the
thought.
movie was. It does not do that.
No.
Instead, the kids get the book and like they rip it off, and it turns out, okay, so.
No, there's no through line.
There's no through line. That's the thing.
It gets set up as, oh, that damn Tommy Tricker. We have to get the stamp back from him. And then, oh, wait, what's this? There's this mythical, legendary stamp collector.
Yeah.
Let's forget Tommy. Let's go find this guy. And
yeah.
Then, oh, we have to get this book from Australia, even though I'm in China now. There's just nothing in terms of narrative has chance to breathe here.
Yes. Okay.
There's no running plot that covers the length of this movie in a sequential acts 1, 2, and 3.
No.
Right?
No. Yeah, because basically the main... Okay, so... Forget the shop guys. They're gone. Nobody cares about them anymore. They're useless. They're useless to plot. So now they've discovered this book who's about this kid from the 1930s or 20s or something, collecting stamps, and he has all these rare stamps. So they probably think, oh, we can find the other book, and they can probably have some very rare stamps, and the father would forgive them. Okay? So they discovered that the book is magic. Mm-hmm. Or like a stamp is magic. I don't even know. Is the book magic or the stamps magic?
The stamps are magic.
The stamps are magic.
Yeah, people can travel on the stamps.
So you have to say a secret word, secret phrases, stand like 30 feet from a mailbox, say these words, and you get transported into the stamp.
Yeah.
Now, once again, they had access to go to different regions and stuff like that. When you get transported onto the stamp, you're just in the stamp. Mm-hmm. You're not anywhere else. You're not.
Yeah, you are reliant on somebody to mail.
Yeah, you're not in like a world that was created by the stamp or anything like that. You're just a picture on a stamp. You are animated and then magically transported into the stamp. Now, the animation in this, at least it's good. You know.
Yeah.
It's like AHA, the Take On Me music video.
Exactly.
So it's like that. You go into the stamp collection. You go into the stamp, and that's it. That's the only thing. And then they ship, and then you got to get mailed to your destination and open it, and then you come back out.
Does the setting of this movie work at all for you with the fantasy element?
No, because there's nothing fantasy about it. You just go on a stamp and you come back out. That's it. There's no fantasy world. There's no like. There's no like.
The characters don't even react to seeing somebody come out of a stamp. Aside from his dad falling over in his chair.
That's true. Yeah.
Anti-comedically, nobody treats this like it should be treated. If you were to see this actually happen.
Yeah. So like
there's no follow-up.
Yeah. There's no like really action to it. It's just like he goes. Like you see him become a stamp, and like the animation on the stamp is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because it's just always feels like.
If you saw this, you'd shit yourself. And
yeah.
In the characters in the movie, someone comes out of a stamp. They act surprised and they go, well, anyway.
Yeah. So, but Tommy Tricker's still in this movie. He's not. We didn't get rid of Tommy Tricker. He's still in this movie. He's trying to get the stamp. He's still trying to scam Ralph. And then, I would say the worst chase scene I've ever seen in movie history happens. Like.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's really bad, in fact.
It was all for comic effect. So they try to get rid of Tommy Tricker. Tommy Tricker's on a bus. They trick Tommy Tricker into taking the bus. They're running, but unfortunately, the kid who Tommy Tricker's going to sell into sex slavery in a few years finds them and tries to stop them because he's the muscle, even though he's a very nice kid. And if you just talk to him, he'll just see what happens. But no, so they're just trying to get him in a mall. They're running. You hear Rufus Wainwright.
It's like one of those Scooby-Doo chase montages.
Exactly, but 10 times worse.
Yeah. One of the kids is literally hiding in a push cart.
Yeah.
With like a tablecloth over it or whatever, and their legs are sticking out of it as they're being pushed by the employee.
Yeah. And then he goes down the stairs. Albert goes down the stairs, but you just see him go like, and that's it. And then there's zany music in the background. Even the zany music doesn't work. It's not the right type of zany music.
No.
They go way too slow. You need to go fast-paced action. And you need, like, things need to jump up in the air. Or, like, people need to be covered in whipped cream or something, you know.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that.
And it doesn't help that, like, just the cinematography or just the style of shooting of this movie is more documentary than it is anything else. So these scenes are so out of nowhere. They're jarring, but also so uninteresting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing interesting visually or...
Yeah, once again, there's no threat, though. That's the reason, There's no threat. Because that kid's not going to beat him up.
Yeah.
He's not going to do that.
So, okay, here's another thing. So, the kid that we think is the muscle, not antagonistic.
No.
The stamp shop proprietors, not ultimately antagonistic, just business people, right?
Yeah.
The goober, unemployed guy that is on the bus, taking the bus, that intercepts the envelope with Ralph on it at first. You think, okay, finally they have an antagonist here. Because it's not going to be Tommy Tricker. You got to feel bad for him.
Yeah.
You know, his dad's out sucking dick for beer stamps somewhere.
He is supposed to be the main character in this movie, but he's still not.
Do you think like homeless people are doing degrading shit for stamps so they can go, like they're just like the forever stamps that you can buy anywhere and they go and get their 5 o'clock or whatever? No, so you think, okay, this guy on the bus is going to be the fucking bad guy.
Some guy we don't know, we have never seen before. He's just some guy in a suit.
He's like, ooh, I hope there's a check or a money order.
Yeah, he's hassling some... Okay, so... we've got to mention there's rules to this.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so the characters can't touch the envelope. Sorry.
The stamp repels them with a type of force.
Yes, they can't touch it by hand. Only someone else can pick it up and put it in the mailbox for them, for some reason. I don't know why.
But the little girl can grab it?
Yeah, a little girl grabs it. It's about to put it.
Oh, it's like familiar hands or something.
Yeah, familiar hands.
Okay.
Yeah. So a little girl grabs it. We don't know this little girl at all. And then all of a sudden this guy pops out. I was like, "What are you doing, little girl?" And I was like,
"Oh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?" I was like, "This is gonna be an abduction right now."
Oh, he's totally a fucking skis bag.
Yeah.
Where are you sending this letter? You're awfully small to be sending a letter all the way to Australia. And then the mom comes along and is like, "That's not your letter." "Oh, well then I should take it off your hands, little girl. I'll be doing you a favor." Proceeds to get on the bus with the envelope.
Yeah, opens the envelope, finds there's no cash in it, throws away the envelope.
Yeah. And
Ralph is still in the stamp. He's still in the stamp, and we get little scenes of him like his eyes gouging or something, and you hear his little voice say, "Oh no!"
Yeah. Oh my God, that Mr. Bill shit going on. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And can we talk really quickly about how the stamp traveling, like the animation, like the transformation from live action to animation is accompanied by the worst fucking kazoo music that you'll ever hear. Oh my God, it's the worst. It reminds me of that stupid do 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 do. But with kazoo and way worse.
Yes.
Yeah. But just horrible. Like they were clearly proud of that because they played it. They stuck with it. They didn't waffle. They were proud of it. I don't know if they should have been.
They should not.
Terrible.
No.
Just terrible.
All right. Yeah. So we get rid of the man in the suit's gone.
Yeah.
He's no longer in this.
He's not a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy. It turns out. I mean. So they come up with a piece of paper, throw it away. They're looking for Tom. They're looking for Ralph. So is Tommy, I think. I don't know. And so Ralph's still folded up. He's thrown away. They find Tommy Tricker. Tommy Tricker's still looking for Ralph. Tommy Tricker throws away a sardine sandwiches. Sardine juice gets on Ralph, and then we get the most really hurtful line ever. Albert's there. Albert says, a homeless man grabs a sandwich from the trash can, and then Albert says, "Tommy, is that your dad?"
Remind you of your dad?
It's just like.
Oh wait, I didn't mean it. And Tommy chases him off. Yeah, I know.
And they fight each other.
It's actually really it's
no
really
promotion at all. I know Tommy Tricker is supposed to be like a swindler because that's
his name.
He's a
little shitter. He's a little shit stirrer, but
you don't have to be that mean to him. He didn't do that bad to you.
Yeah,
but I'm sure there's a smoke bomb. You tell him to fuck off or something. You don't say your dad's a homeless person.
Yeah, it's very insensitive. But what's really funny to me is that the next scene after Albert's chased off, Nancy finds Tommy Tricker. I don't know if he was crying, but he was basically crying.
Yeah, so in that scene, okay, so That was one of the scenes he auditioned with. Like, that was one of the scenes, the improv. So the director, Wubo, was like, this kid did amazing in the improvisation. This great and emotional scene. But then in the film, he's like, he didn't have it. Like, he lost it. He lost it. Because he did it so many times. The magic's gone now.
Yeah, it's not
It's gone. It's gone now. So he's just like, it's gone. He fucked up the scene. It doesn't have the same emotional impact.
I kind of want to watch this making of documentary now.
He just says, like, if a kid does it so many times, it loses his magic. But he realized that, no, it doesn't. Like, millions of actors have done millions of lines, millions of times.
Children actors, though? We're not talking like Shelley Duvall. What if he like Shelley Duvall Shelley Duvall, this poor guy, like just made him do it like 120 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That would be fucked.
Yeah. So director didn't like it, but he still kept it in the film. Tommy Trickett delivers this monologue where it's just like that was my father.
He says that. Yeah. That was my father. Really? That was your father? Well, no, not him, but he's basically like that. What a homeless, and even the homeless guy. God bless him. Even the homeless guy looks down at the letter and says, "Hey, is that the Mountie stamp?" He recognizes the Mountie stamp. It's just everybody in the Trickerverse is a stamp connoisseur.
Yeah. So that happens. Then Tommy finds out. He finds Ralph, and Ralph. He's not surprised that Ralph's in a fucking stamp either. He's like, I have your brother. He calls up.
Yeah, he calls Nancy.
And is like, I have your brother. He's not like how do you know? Like Nancy can say that's not my brother. That's just like random stamps we made one year. But no, he knows Ralph's in the stamp. He's in water. Ralph's not dead. I thought the same. I thought he would be like drown or something in the water. No, he's not dead.
Do you think time is relative in the stamp? Like
I don't
he's
know
just
what's going on in the
there?
stamp. I wish the movie was in the stamp, because maybe he could be in like a stamp world or something. Or
like a Wreck-It Ralph type of thing.
Or
where
like
you're connected to other
or you're in the Outback or something, or whatever the fuck that was supposed to be. That's what I thought the movie was going to be.
I would have much rather seen an animated Wizard of Oz-esque where it's like, okay, the first act takes place in the real world, and then the second and third in the stamp
Yeah, like
world.
the Page Master. But
yes, the Page Master.
Yeah.
Great comparison.
Yeah. But no, he's just in a stamp, and the dog almost the dog almost eating him had no valence at all. But okay, so then Tommy mails a stamp to China. Gets a letter from Nancy. Says, we forgot to mention that Nancy is a pen pal to various people around the world.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, in one scene, her and a friend, who has no relevance at all to the plot, dancing to a boombox that she has a strap to, and are dancing. I wish people would bring that back.
Yeah.
Just have boombox next to headphones and just dance to it.
I don't care how impractical they are.
Just bring it back. It looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
That's awesome. So she has a pen pal in China.
Yeah.
So Timmy, for some reason, mails Ralph to China. I don't know why. Why not just make another thing about go to Australia? No, but he took a postcard from Nancy and is mailed to China. So now Ralph's in China. So this really has no plot at all to it. This is the documentary part. This is the part that was supposed to be for a documentary that Rubio was doing, but decided to make a kids film instead. They're in China now. Ralph meets the pen pal. They then go around China, and you see all of China. They eat some food and stuff like that. He's introduced to a classmate. They go to like a swimming pool, and they go to a lake or something, and they paddle boat. Basically, it's Ralph exploring China.
Have a nice little holiday.
Yeah, if this was supposed to be like Mark Rubio wanted, it would have been like kid goes around China. You play it for 15 minutes in a class one day because you're too hungover to teach the kids. That's it. Great movie.
Yeah.
It's great. It teaches you about China, shows an outsider's take to it. That's great. So that happens, but then we leave China, and like they ship Ralph off on the dragon. He's a dragon, and they ship him off. Because it lands perfectly in the mailbox. Once again, it has nothing to do with the movie. For some reason, he just goes to China.
It looks like a fun time.
A fun time. And if that was the whole movie, a 15-minute documentary about showing life as what China was like for a 12-year-old or 11-year-old kid.
Right. Like
that would be great.
If he just goes, if he wakes up in America takes a 20-minute trip on screen to China and comes
travels by stamp to China.
Whoa, sis, you won't believe what I just did. And then that's the end.
Like,
that would be okay.
Oh, I went to like he opens up and he's in China, like, and that's it. And then they just go around China all day, and it's a great thing.
I would actually give this movie high marks if that's the case.
That's it. Yeah. If that was just a boring movie that they show during like science, history class one day, that'd be great. But it's not that.
No.
So he goes. He's away from China. He makes friends. I guess he gains confidence or something. I don't know. For some reason, he has a stutter, and for some reason they crack their fingers. I don't know why.
They don't. It was established very early in the movie and then brought up at the end like anybody was supposed to really remember. I did remember it, but basically Tommy puts his knuckles against his face and makes a cracking noise.
Yeah, was that supposed to be like a code for like the secret friendship?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
They just start cracking their knuckles. That's it. And I was like, why are they doing that?
That's my favorite part. I'm just gonna skip to a part at the end when Tommy Tricker is imprisoned at this at Mad Mike, the Australian zookeeper's. He's imprisoned with the kangaroos in the kangaroo pen, right? And mind you, he's all the way across the world, and all of a sudden he's just sitting in his pen, and he hears a Ralph, is that you? Ralph, is that you? Like, I don't know. My first thought would be like a twig broke or something.
Yeah.
You're in the forest right now.
They're not setting up like these things that will call backs. Like, sure, we saw it clicking, but we don't know what that means. We just know he's clicking his hands.
That's it.
It was like maybe if they would have said like a secret handshake or a secret code or something like that. You know, like you just gotta
Chekhov's knuckle cracking.
You just gotta put these things in the movie so that we can understand it in the further on in the movie. That's it.
Everybody knows.
Get a good callback and bam. That's it.
Everybody knows that. It's
Everybody
like
knows that.
screenwriting 101.
Yeah. So he's out of China, now he's in Australia. He's at the right place. Unfortunately, the bookstore that had the original book, stamp book, is closed now. It's torn down and replaced by apartments. But luckily, the granddaughter or something, I forget, who was that girl?
She was the niece of the Mad Mike. I know that.
I know that. But how is she connected to the Charles guy?
It doesn't matter. Charles Merriweather claimed to visit her that day. That's what it was.
Yes.
Charles Merriweather, a child, came by to ask her about the stamp book.
Yeah.
That's what
but
it
was. But how does she, I don't know. How do they know about the book?
The Australians?
Yeah, how do they know?
I don't because they're stamp collectors too. Everybody in the globe is a stamp collector.
We forgot to mention, when Ralph was about to go home in China, there were 3 stamp collectors standing by the mailbox, and he was worried that he would be collected by stamp collectors.
That's right. Yeah. No, it's a universal passion among everybody. Do you think the sequel of this, because there is a sequel from 1994, do you think in that there's like a storyline about Pogs being like Bitcoin now?
No, it's all about stamps still.
Okay.
It still continues stamp legacy.
I hope so.
Yeah.
The stamp market crashes. They do an 2008 housing bubble burst.
Yeah.
The value of the stamps is drastically decreased because of corporate greed.
You see Tommy Tricker selling his friend for stamps.
Oh boy. We should be so lucky. That'd be a great sequel.
So anyway, he's in Australia, and guess who is also in Australia? Tommy Tricker. Tommy Tricker says he's Charles. He actually also went on a stamp and was mailed to Australia. Yeah. We didn't see that though. They didn't show that. They didn't show a scene where like he was with Nancy and it was like explaining what's happening or anything like that. And like he tricks her or something, and then he becomes a stamp and he gets mailed off by his dumb friend to Australia. We didn't see that. For some reason, he is dressed in olden garb from the 1920s or 1910s or something. So that puts into my theory that this should have been like a magical land or something. He got transported like back to 1910 Australia or some shit like that in the stamp. But we don't know because we didn't see that.
Stamps don't transcend time and space, though.
I guess I don't know. Like either he.
That's where you're limiting yourself. I mean, you could easily make this like a special stamp.
It could
go through time, and I'd much rather see that. Don't get me wrong, but this is just a normal ass stamp.
So in the movie, are we supposed to assume that Tommy Tricker, his plan was, I'm gonna go to Australia. I'm gonna dress myself up like a 1910 boy from the 1910s or 20s, and I'm gonna convince them that I am Charles.
Yeah.
Even though it's been like 80 years and nobody knows who Charles is, and it's like.
Yeah, that's exactly...
So that was his plan. I don't know. Okay, so Tommy Tricker...
Yeah, there's not really inspired screenwriting at foot here.
There's not. So, okay, so Charles, what's his...
Ralph and Tommy both know that this stamp book is in Sydney, Australia somewhere. Sydney is apparently a very small place.
Very small place.
Very small. There's one crazy zookeeper and his niece. That's it.
Yes, and then an Aborigine man who plays the...
Ooh, an Aborigine.
Not didgeridoo either. It's just a steel pipe.
It's like a fence post.
It's a fence post. They didn't have enough for didgeridoo. They just got him a fence post.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, so...
Tommy is trying to steal this stamp book. That's from... Okay. Ralph gets to Australia, meets Cheryl.
Yeah.
She's the young Australian girl who's... She knows her uncle has the stamp book, right?
For some reason. We don't know why.
She is estranged with him. She's afraid of him because he's crazy.
Yeah. Do we know how he got the stamp book? Or no, we don't.
Do we know why he's considered crazy? No. Why? Because he wanted to be a zoo, to open a zoo, but because he has a strange giggle? I mean, I don't think
they ever met before.
They call him Mad Mike. He's I don't get that sense either. He does nothing mad. I'd be mad too if these damn kids were sneaking onto my property trying to steal my possessions.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So he basically asks Cheryl to take him to her uncle, and in that pursuit, or while they're going to his property, they see Tommy Tricker running from it, dressed in old-timey clothing.
Yeah. We forgot to mention the kid that's with them for some reason. So, they don't know where Mad Mike lives, because the niece has never met Mad Mike.
No.
Never once in her life, because I don't know what happened. Maybe, once again, stamp crimes. Possibly stamp crimes. Mad Mike who committed stamp crimes.
Probably, yeah.
It's a shame and is a black sheep of the family, and they never visit him.
It was a crime of passion.
It was a crime of passion, a crime of stamps. We don't know him, and so they need to find out, where's Mad Mike? Let's ask. They go to a park, they find these kids playing cricket, and they ask one kid, kid, do you know where Mad Max is? Is yeah, I know where I'm calling him Mad Mike.
Because you'd much rather be watching a Mad Max movie.
If Mad Max was in this movie, that would have
been pretty funny.
That'd be pretty fucking funny. He would own the major stamp.
Yeah. Oh god.
Mad Max stamp. They just have a Mad Max stamp. It's just
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Was he named Mad Mike? Do you think it's a coincidence or is it a nod?
I don't think it's a nod. I think it's a coincidence. I don't think
just
they know.
Just because that's Australian.
I don't think they know Mad Max even exists. I don't think.
Fair.
So anyway, okay, so they find this kid. I don't know his name. I don't know if he has a name. They just find him. And it's I know what Mad Mike is.
I don't think he has a name.
I don't know. I can't speak Australian.
This movie is mirrored years later by The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
The Rise of Skywalker's pacing is, we need to do this. Okay, here's some characters that can help us. Okay, thanks for the help. Move on. We need to do this now. Here's some new batch of characters that's going to help us. Cool, thanks. We're going to move on. Here's some new tasks we have to do and some new characters. It's just, this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is a fucking mess. That's right. I forgot about the Cricket Kids. Because that's how inconsequential they are, except for... I don't know. They could have easily been the niece saying, "Oh, that's old man, my old crazy uncle's house up there on the top of that hill." That's all you needed.
He got too much into stamp game, so his body. He killed a man once because trying to take his stamps.
It's like a most dangerous game type of thing going on.
He tried to make his own stamps out of kangaroos, but it didn't have. No. Yeah. So Tommy is they found Mad Mike, Max, I don't care. The crazy uncle guy, they find him. And Tommy's chained up, still dressed in 1910 garb. He's not once again, these guys aren't mean. The Aborigine and Mad Mike are not mean people.
No!
They just caught a kid trying to steal their shit. And they're no, you can't do that. And instead of calling the cops, they just put him in a chain, which I guess is insane. But
yeah, a little bit. That's true.
But they don't they feed him and then they just say and then when Tommy asks, "Hey, can I be that free?" He's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
That's it. And
they trade him a koala, but yeah.
Yeah. So then the Aborigine character, who I don't even know has a name, he finds all the kids and stuff like that. They run off, and then later at night, Mad Mike and the Aborigine and Tommy are having a bonfire, and then they find a koala. They just find a wild koala somewhere, and we're like, Mad Mike, here you go.
That's super cool about being held by humans.
Yeah, super cool. And it's here you go, Mad Mike, Max. Here you go. Here's a koala. Please give us Tommy Tricker.
take the stamps.
Yes.
He's like, he's so touched by this, getting this koala that he's, gonna give up these potentially priceless stamp collection.
Yeah. And so they have the stamps. And,
no more conflict.
No more conflict. That's it. No. There's nothing. There wasn't like a guy chasing after the stamps or anything like that. There was nothing. They have the stamps. And then a kangaroo mails them because nobody familiar can handle the letter. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think anybody's familiar with them, so I think anybody could have just grabbed the letter, not a kangaroo. Like, I think Mad Max or the Aborigine could have grabbed them.
Yeah.
But no. So they have the kangaroo. The kangaroo's mailing the stamp, and then we see, like, a little hand, like a puppet hand. With my guess, they actually cut off a real kangaroo's hand and this, like, this stuck it to a stick, and then just, like, put it in the mailbox.
How else are you going to do this?
Yeah. Put the letter in the mailbox, and then they go home. And then, like, Nancy's like, whatever the fuck her name is.
Hey, Mom, Dad! Ralph's back!
Oh, yeah, we forgot how Ralph was punished. We forgot all about that.
Well, no, he was hiking with his Uncle Ben.
Yes.
And they never once thought to check in on him.
That's true, never.
And what about school? Were they just out of school?
I guess it was the weekend. I don't know.
Oh, but you're not going to getting mailed to China and then to Sydney, Australia in a matter of a weekend.
That's true. So
we're talking weeks here.
That's true.
Negligent fucking parents.
That is true. Well, his father wants nothing to do with him. His father just owns him by kicking his stamps out of his stamp collection.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's the best scene.
That's the best scene. It's just like he finds out the stamp's gone, and he's like, Ralph, there's no grounded, there's no nothing. It's just like, get your stamps out of my stamp collection now.
His dad is the real villain, and man, I gotta say, his dad's doing a really awful Jeffrey Combs impression the whole time. Ralph, did you break into my stamp room? Get your stamps out of my room, Ralph. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah.
What did we say about trust, Ralph? Or when Ralph's like hiding in the shed because he's ashamed of himself. You get your butt out here right now, Ralph.
Yeah.
His dad's the villain.
Yeah, his dad is the villain. And then that's the whole punishment. And then the movie goes on.
Oh, we forgot Ralph was gone.
Yeah.
Hiking with his Uncle Ben, who...
For 2 weeks?
Probably would have molested him.
Yeah. So anyway, they're back home. Nancy's like, Ralph's in the letter. She's in the letter. So is Tommy. And it's like, do you see a letter? They're like, no, it's a trick. It's just a trick. It's like...
It's an elaborate trick that somebody's playing.
Yeah, you see Ralph and Tommy... They look exactly like the kids in the stamp.
And they're posed in that 90s way, too, where one's standing straight with his arms crossed, and the other one's leaning.
Yeah.
Got the arm up on the shoulder.
And they have a koala on the back. And then...
Oh, no, honey. Yeah, the dad says that's just a prank.
That's just a prank. And then she opens up the letter, and then they come out aha style, where you expect Take On Me to singing out. But no, they fly in the air for some reason, and then the koalas, the fake koalas, stuffed koalas, is popping out for some reason.
Raining down from the heavens.
Raining down koalas. And then they fall into a pool.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then you think like freeze frame, and then that's it. No, there's more to the movie.
Oh God, they can't. Before we go though, real quick, I like the idea of a prankster with like like those super expensive jeweler's glasses, just painstakingly painting a really photorealistic Ralph and Tommy on this stamp, and then mailing it to Ralph's father. Yeah. I think that's funny.
I think that's funny. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so we forgot. Okay, so then there's a character named Mr. Bronson. He's a very old man who I'm guessing molested Ralph's father, and Ralph's father going to continue the cycle because he doesn't know it's wrong. So he's sacrificing his son to be molested by Mr. Bronson.
That's definitely the subtext I read.
Definitely the subtext. So that's going to happen. But Mr. Bronson gives... We forget, Ralph doesn't even have the stamp that he got rid of, that he got tricked into giving away. He didn't give him...
No, he didn't even get the fucking stamp!
No! He didn't!
What happened to the stamp? Did Tommy actually sell it, or...?
He sold it to the evil stamp guys.
The non-evil, the totally reasonable stamp businessmen, that's right.
Even though if Ralph would have said, Tommy, like somebody sold it to the stamp guys, just go into the stamp store, tell them what happened, and then they'll probably sell it to you. They'll probably give it to you back.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's right. Oh, just
Mr. Bronson is in the room. We're gonna finish this fucking movie. We're an hour and 20 minutes into this. This is gonna be longer than some of our episodes and actually good movies.
Yeah.
Mr. Bronson gives the stamp to Tommy's father, to Albert's father. Sorry, Albert. Fuck Albert. To whatever the fucking kid's name is. Wow, Ralph's father. Mm-hmm. And he's like, here's the stamp that your son sold or traded, and like, thank you. And so Mr. Bronson has.
They
For some reason, these kids have a candlelight vigil bringing down the stamps. We don't know why. Was that
bringing down the Charles Merriweather book?
For some reason, they have the Charles Merriweather book. I don't know if that was in the instructions that you had to have the book wrapped up in paper and then bring it down with candles and sing a song for some reason.
Is this how kids behave before like Game Boy and reality television?
I hope not.
Like, is this terrifying? What? Yeah, I mean, they literally are singing in unison, holding candles.
Yeah,
bringing this
book down to Mr. Bronson because they know that Ralph's going to rape him and then complete the cycle and bring on the 100 years of darkness.
Right.
Yes. So they sing the song and then Mr. Bronson's like, I also have, like, oh, you're lucky. So he knows about the traffic. He knows about this. We don't know that. We don't know that Mr. Bronson knows about this. So Mr. Bronson should be shooting his fucking bricks right now, but he's not. And so he goes to Ralph and Tommy. He's like, you're lucky. Some people don't escape it. Some people are stuck in this stamp forever. Pulls out his book. We see the same stamp again with the ship.
Yeah.
And it's like they see a little kid, and it's like, oh, there's another one. And it turns out that little kid is Charles.
The boy in the bow.
The boy in the bow. That's Charles. Charles is stuck in a stamp for over 50 years.
I molested him, and then I trapped him in this stamp forever.
So he wouldn't tell. So then like, and then they're all arguing like, we just gotta mail him, and then he'll come out. But then the parents are like, we're not gonna fucking release this kid.
Well, how are we gonna have room? They're in a pretty spacious house.
Yeah.
Too. We don't have
Who's
room
gonna take care of this kid?
Who's gonna feed this kid?
We're gonna let this kid be trapped in a stamp for over 60 years, even more.
Yeah.
We don't care.
We don't want to have to teach him about the Depression and World War II and desegregation or segregation.
The mom's just like, what's the plan? Like, no, like I want this kid to be stuck in this stamp forever.
Yeah.
He's not gonna come out. So
I mean, these kids are just like they just want to free this old man trapped in a child's body.
Yeah.
Albert says he's an only child.
He's an only child. He's 11 years old, but he's been alive for 70 years.
Yeah.
So has he been this like in a book for 70 years? Just like
I guess.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be awful. Like I'd be begging for the sweet release.
It's probably through a fucking wood chipper. Yeah. So anyway, they're arguing what
if you die in the stamp world, is it like the Matrix?
Yeah.
If you die in the stamp world, you
maybe.
Die. Like if your stamp, like if I put like your stamp and envelope through a shredder.
Are you dead?
Paper shredder, yeah.
I don't know. That's not
Michael Rubo is alive. We could ask.
We could ask him, yes.
Michael Rubo, how would this work if the stamp was put through a shredder?
Yeah.
Also, were we correct about our reading of the subtext of this movie?
That Mr. Monson's gonna molest Ralph. And also molest his father again.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's gotta pay. That man on the mask stamp is not free.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so that happens, arguing, and then Tommy steals the stamp again, and they're like, and then the very long like epilogue after. It's supposed to end like right when the credits end, not when the credits are still rolling. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be like, and Tommy was still back to his old ways. Ha 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 ha. Movie ends. Nope. Keeps on going. They reveal that they freed Charles from the stamp, and he now lives with Mr. Bronson, still getting molested, still continuing the cycle of abuse that's never ending in the harsh world of stamp collecting.
Sharing their vile racist thoughts with one another in a safe space.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And and then the guy in the stamp on a horse comes out for some reason. We don't know why. Nobody said
the Mountie. It was the Mountie.
The Mountie comes out, and that's the end of the movie. The movie ends.
They should have had, when the Mountie came out, they should have had the homeless guy there again doing the cartoonish rubbing his eyes.
Yeah, like, whoa, what's going on?
That would have been funny.
And that's Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Traveler.
In painstaking detail.
We
talked about this for longer than the English Patient.
Yes.
Or name any the Kane Mutiny.
Yeah, we did.
Oh my god.
Let's give our final thoughts now. Okay. This movie sucks dick. 1 star. Go fuck yourself. Tommy Tricker. I hope your dad never comes back. Goodbye. See ya. That's my thoughts.
1 star. Fuck you, Tommy Tricker. I hope your dad never comes back either. Who was this made for?
I don't know. This is made in a series called Tales for All. Okay. This is a book.
So it's lazy teachers.
Yeah.
Not lazy, but like the days. I shouldn't say that because teaching's very difficult, but those days that you need the break. that you just need something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't watch this movie, guys. It's not like it's goofy, it's insane, but like...
It's fun to laugh at in retrospect, but not during.
Not during, no.
And like you need to be able to laugh at it with somebody who...
if you watch the Peanut Butter Solution, my guess it's going to be funnier because it's going to be more insane. Because it's about it at least has the goofy element in it. This one takes all the goofy out of it, has no stakes, has no villainy, has no fun. You're collecting fucking stamps. It's just as fun as stamp collecting.
Yeah.
Not fun at all.
You know what would have been funny?
What?
When he comes out of the stamp in China initially, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm in China." It'd have been really funny if the rest of the movie he was in a sweatshop being forced to work.
Forced to work.
That would have been great.
Forced to make stamps.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
For American kids to collect. That would have been so good.
Yeah. Okay, so I watched this movie twice. Once sober and once high.
You're very...
This is the first movie I ever watched high. I ate an edible. It kicked in like maybe an hour into the movie. It didn't improve the movie at all. I think I laughed more at the ridiculous of it all, but watching this high does not improve anything.
I imagine it would make the movie take a lot longer.
Yeah, it definitely did. I got distracted by the TV show Nirvana, the band, the show, which is about two guys trying to play in a Toronto coffee house. Just trying to get a gig. They're not in a band or anything. They just want to get a gig in this Toronto coffee house. That's it. Yeah, and that show was hilarious. I heard, and then I think I forgot to watch the rest of the movie, and I fell asleep.
What did Roger Ebert think of this movie?
I am part of the stamp Illuminati. What? Roger Ebert? No! Don't tell me you're part of the Ring too.
That would be quite a twist there.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be. Okay, so that was...
Sorry, go on.
Okay, I don't know, T, do you have anything else to say about Tommy Tricker and the Traveling Stamp? Will you watch I said Traveling Stamp, Stamp Traveler. Will you watch the sequel to this movie?
I don't want to answer this question because under my own willpower, no.
No.
I will not.
If I make you watch the sequel, will you watch the sequel?
I think I'm pretty much like contractually obligated at this point.
I made you sign a contract. So in the sequel, Charles is in it, but it's a girl. So it completely crosses out the epilogue.
Goddamn woke liberals!
So now it's a girl. I guess she's Tommy's girlfriend. I don't know. For some reason, she's a girl now. I don't know. And it's just Tommy with a girl, and that's it. I don't know if Ralph's in it, or Nancy, or anybody else. Hope Albert's not in it, because that guy fucking sucks.
I hope, yeah. Unless he's still like...
He does look like a...
How great would it be if he was homeless?
Yeah.
In the sequel?
Yeah.
That would be funny. Some comeuppance.
He does look like my friend Noah I grew up with, but that's about it.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I know.
Did he always wear cut-off jorts?
No. He'd have glasses and hair like that, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the DJ. His name was DJ Shushu.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess is that all we have to say about Tommy Tricker?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Is that all we have to say? Is that all we have to say
about Tommy Tricker?
Oh, no, I do have one more thing.
Yeah.
And again, this movie, I guess you could say maybe it's a good thing that it, quote-unquote, subverts expectations. This movie does none of the things that you would be taught to do in Screenwriting 101, though, because I was so sure, and I wrote this early, I said, I'm going to call it now, 25 minutes in, the man on the mast is going to be his dad, Tommy Tricker's dad.
Yeah.
Trapped in the stamp.
No.
But no, I gave the movie way too much fucking
credit.
credit.
Well, we didn't know Tommy Tricker was not the main character of the movie.
Well, just like when it's clear that his dad's missing, I thought, okay, everyone's mad at, Tommy's like clearly going to have issues later in life because of this abandonment, and like he's struggling now, like this is going to affect this young man eventually, right? Like seriously, and the whole family. So I said they're going to, the Disney thing to do would be to, just build up, oh, he abandoned us, when the truth was he was actually molested by an old man and trapped in a stamp.
Trapped in a stamp, yes.
That would have been the logical choice. But I gave the movie too much goddamn credit.
Yeah.
So
we expected a lot from this movie. I didn't expect anything from this movie, but we were expecting this it's going to be lazy, but this somewhat has a constant tail to it. It had none of that.
That's the thing. It's like it's got some technical competence to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, although I think that the documentary shooting doesn't fit tonally. It still looks crisp.
They didn't even get Australia at all. It's all China. They just got a suburb of Australia, and then that's it.
Yeah, like you wouldn't even guess that it was Australia. It just looks like forest behind,
Well, I said it was Montreal. They didn't go to Australia. It was
maybe.
They only had money to go to China. I didn't even know they went to China. I think they went to Chinatown in Toronto.
It looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good, no doubt. I don't know. It's funny. It's just weird because it's not like a technically horrible movie, right?
No,
and it's not so bad that it's good.
Because this guy knows how to shoot documentary style and like nature documentary style. So
it's just so aggressively mediocre in so many ways and just bad in others.
Yeah,
like acting, but
and
screenwriting.
I mean, this movie's not like haha bad. It's just stupid and it's not fun at all.
What if weeks from now, this is ranked higher than one of the Coen Brothers movies in our list? That'd be remarkable.
That would be remarkable. So we still got 2 more films out of my Bad Kids film. So I don't know if this would be the worst one out of the 2.
Part of me just wants to get them out of the way. But we'll see.
That could happen. Well, let's start doing it now, TJ. I guess we'll say all that final things. If you do like the show, please follow us, like us, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to listen to this podcast. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, and we're on SoundCloud. If you like us, please talk to us. Suggest movies, suggest things to do at the end of the episode. Just do something. Tell us how you feel about Tommy Tricker. Do you relate to this film? Is this a film you grew up with? And if you liked it when you were younger, why? Tell us why. Please tell us why. We don't know why. Please tell us.
We're dying to know.
We're dying to know. And people who gave it 3 stars in Letterboxd, what the fuck's wrong with you?
What gummy did you eat?
What gummy did you eat to watch this movie? Because I ate one that may be very loopy and have a lot of dry mouth. So
maybe you just have to watch it a 3rd time.
Maybe I do. I don't know. So anyway, okay, so let's spin the wheel and see what our next film is. Hopefully it's one of yours, but maybe not. Let's see what happens. Let's spin the wheel, folks. Let's see what we got. Oh, no. Oh, TJ, I'm sorry. It's A Night at the Magic Castle. We're about to see some magical waitress, folks. According to that comment, that description on a YouTube video.
It sounds like a joke from Arrested Development with Tobias.
Yeah.
But Tobias thought he said A Night at the Magic Asshole.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, alright.
Yeah, we're going to see a bunch of wizard shit, folks, from the 1980s. Okay, well, thank you very much for listening to our podcast. I am Mo, and I'm going to collect earwax from now on.
And I'm just going to stick with Pogs.
Yeah,
those are timeless.
Those are timeless, TJ.
Yes.
Probably good. Way better than stamps. And you probably won't get molested by a very old man.
No.
No, you won't. Okay. So, see you, everybody. Have a good night. Here's Bobby Mitchum to play us out. Bye.
Adios.
Adios.